If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. We are getting closer and closer to the release of Beyonce's new album, Renaissance Act 1. And I recently made a video about 3 to 4 days ago when the track list for this whole thing came out, because we went in depth on this track list and what it means over the 16 tracks that are on there, what we know about them so far, also what leaks we have. So if you want an in-depth dive into the track list, make sure you watch that other video after this one. But today I wanted to go over something very, very interesting and kind of get everybody caught up on what's been unfolding in the release of this thing until the last video dropped. So let's jump straight into this. This interesting thing that I'm talking about is a leak of the details of all of these tracks on the track list. I'm talking about producers, about writing credits, and with that connected, obviously also features that are supposed to be on here, which is the very interesting part about it. So this is it. This is the detail list that we've gotten. If you're following like Beyonce leak pages or fan pages, or you've been in the Reddit over the past couple of days, you've likely already seen this, but on here we can see all the contributors to every single song on here, so it's very interesting. We're gonna go a little bit into detail in a second. I just want to point out the obvious ones. Obviously, the first thing you see is that Beyonce is the #1 contributor on every track, so that means she's hands-on with this album. No ghostwriting or none of that. She's writing the songs herself with, of course, help and contribution from her collaborators, but she's on every track, so that is very important. The first name you see on here, The Dream, is going to be on there. I think overall in his career, very underrated. We also have Mike Dean, that is just like popping in on the first record. And we have Mike Dean pop up a couple of more times, so Mike Dean is definitely going to be on there. And as I said, we're going to go into all of them in a second. I just want to point out that Sean Carter is a lot on here as well, so Jay-Z will have credits and writing and production on here as well. And also on the track Heated, which is the one that you're probably looking forward to, Aubrey Drake Graham. So Drake is on Heated. Well, at least there's an interesting twist on that as well, but as I said, we'll get into that in a second. So this is the big news, and now let's break this down and see what people have to say about this and what this means. Now I gotta give a lot of credit from this video to my man Royce over on the Discord, who kept me up to date with all of the stuff. So as always, if you're not a part of the Discord yet, where we've had all this information laid out before the video dropped, and it's the best hip-hop community in the world, then make sure you join the Discord after this video, because great resource, and as I said, we always got leaks on there and everything that's been happening. So Royce really summarized this quite well for me, and the first thing he said was it includes Drake, who is confirmed, obviously. Thames is also going to be on here. Pharrell, they're all under their real names in the track list that I just showed y'all. We also have Jay-Z. I pointed that one out as well. Skrillex is also going to be on there. Mike Dean, which I touched on a bit earlier, Boy Wonder, Hit Boy. So we have also hip-hop specific producers on there, which is gonna likely suggest that there's gonna be more hip-hop elements in this as well. We have Labyrinth on there as well. 070 Shake, which is gonna be very cool because 070 Shake and Beyonce vocals just fit perfect. The Dream, as I already said, and also Niger that are gonna be on there. So that is producers and writers, and also of course gonna be features in the case of Drake. But as I said, it's interesting. We're gonna get into that in a second. Let's look at some samples that are confirmed. Royce said there's also samples from Donna Summer, James Brown, Moy Renee, the Clark sisters, and Tina Marie. So that is interesting as well. He also went specific into the song with Thames. He said the song with Thames called Move is supposed to be an Afrobeat song like Brown Skin Girl, while the song with Drake called Heated is supposed to be a dancehall song. And if you remember, there was the leak for Drake already a couple of weeks ago, actually, not that long ago, right before Honestly Nevermind dropped. We had the song called Heated from the Drake leak, and after that it has a Beyonce feature on it, and then it turned out to be not on Honestly Nevermind at all. And he does go into this a little bit, and this is interesting because in the meantime, we've also gotten news from herself, from Beyonce herself. We've gotten a vinyl announcement. So she's gone on social media to post the announcement for the vinyl. You can pre-order it. Well, you can't actually, because when you head over to the website, it's sold out, but there's still a couple of pictures that you can look at and all of that. So still nice to look at. And on the credits for the vinyl, Drake is not on the song Heated. Royce said, I actually think Drake gave the track to Beyonce possibly, because he isn't on the track Heated on the vinyl. So I think he just wrote it and gave it to Beyonce, honestly, but we'll see. He goes on a bit further to clarify, Beam, Thames, and Grace Jones have vocals though, and Pharrell, The Dream, and Jay-Z have production credits. But there's a small possibility that maybe he has vocals on and it's just hidden. And that's another thing. From the track list that she already gave us, we couldn't see the features, so likely she's doing a Astroworld and just not showing us the features beforehand. And also when the tracks come out, they're not going to be on the track, and we're going to have to uncover them as we move through the track list, which is nice, but it's just, it's always, I would have wanted to know the features before. Well, we do kind of now, but I'm just saying with the Drake situation, it's kind of iffy. Also, under my last video, Royce corrected me on a couple of things that I do want to point out here, because I want, everybody to have the most clear picture of what's happening with this album. First of all, he said that there's apparently supposed to be 8 features, which is the somewhat confirmed are Blue Ivy and Drake. Again, there we didn't know that Drake was actually not going to be on it, but that's besides the point. Also, he further went into this Act 1, thing. He says, well, you're not way off. They set this album as a trilogy, which means 3 albums in a somewhat short amount of time, with Act 2 possibly coming out later this year, according to some sources. Well, this is all like on Twitter and Reddit and stuff like that. Also, she said that this album is supposed to have dance, house, and techno influences, and we will be a black music celebration with a bunch of iconic samples like Break My Soul had with the Show Me Love sample. Break My Soul obviously being the single we've gotten so far. And also he corrected me on one thing, which I said that Virgo's Groove was going to be an interlude, but he said, nah bro, Virgo's Groove ain't an interlude. It's actually the longest song on the album, being almost 7 minutes. And a couple of people then also replied to that and said that we can already tell the runtime of the tracks from some leaked source that it has the track list uploaded. So I know this is like all over the place, all different kinds of information coming together. I hope that it wasn't too confusing. I tried to make it as straight to the point as possible and connect the different elements as much as possible. But of course, if you have any questions, post them in the comments down below, and there'll be a bunch of people in the community willing to help you out and kind of clarify things further. Of course, we don't have any official word on any of this yet, and we're just going to have to wait and see what Beyonce actually announces herself on her social media. So this is it. Let me know what you think about this. What do you think about the possible, credits in terms of writing, in terms of producing, and features obviously on here? And do you think Drake is actually going to be on, Heated? So all that information, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.